Myself, Dr. Bhuvnesh Sharma, Assistant Professor from Subharati University. I am going to present today's topic, that is morphology, morpheme and allomorph. In my first lecture, I presented word structure and structure of words, and this is the second day on which I am going to present what is morphology and what is morphemes and allomorphs in detail. So first come to the morphology. Morphology is the study of language, linguistic units, orphemes. Morphemes are the parts of words such as prefixes, suffixes and roots. And allomorph is a morpheme that varies in sound while retaining the same spelling. A morph is how a morpheme is written. Simply, a morph is how a morpheme is written. So, what a morpheme is? A morpheme is the smallest linguistic unit that has a semantic meaning. For example, if we take the word rude, untrue, smoothly, disorganized, etc., we can say that all these words have their own semantic meaning. Means that these words are the morphemes. For example, rude, untrue, smoothly, disorganized. We can take that do not rude, do not be so rude. This he spoke was totally untrue. Do this smoothly, or you have made this disorganized. So, what a morpheme is? Morpheme in linguistics is the smallest grammatical unit of speech. It may be a word like place or an element of word like re and ed in reappeared. So called isolating languages, for example, in the words contain more than one morpheme. Variant of a morpheme are called a allomorph. The ending of es, allomorph may ending of es indicating plural. Words such as cats, dogs, dishes. In cats, dogs and dishes, we are saying to make it plural, that is, we are adding s to cats and we are adding s to dogs, we are adding es to dishes and we are adding en to oxen. The allomorphs are the plural morphemes. Talked and past tense morpheme, here indicated by ed, is the study of words, and morpheme is included in the word s. For example, there are 5 types of morpheme: free morpheme, bound morpheme, derivative morpheme, inflexial morpheme and allomorphs. What are free morpheme there? If we talk about free morpheme, a morpheme which can be joined with other morphemes such as unbreakable. Unbreakable on its own is such as brack. Brack is the root word, un is the affix and able is the another word. Similarly, bound morpheme. Bound morpheme is a morpheme which we can be used as when joined to one other morpheme such as unbreakable. Un is joined with breakable. Word is made after joining is unbreakable. Unbreakable means un is a bound morpheme which is added before any word makes its opposite word. Derivational morpheme are the morpheme which can be derived or added. Derivational is something that has been derived from something else, means added to something else, to another morpheme to create a new word, such as adding ness to unhappy or happy, or to form new words like happiness. Happiness, we are adding ness in happy. Y is replacing by I and ESS. Y has been here replaced by I and ESS. That word, after adding the word has become happiness. So these are derived morpheme in which something is added to the word which has been derived from some other words. Inflectional morpheme are the morpheme which can change a word's tense. Inflectional morpheme are the morpheme which can change the word's tense number, such as adding s, the dog turns in dogs. We are changing that singular form to plural form. So by adding ses, nas, we are making some other words, and that has been changed the form of tense, so is known as inflectional morpheme. Allomorphs, what are allomorphs? Allomorphs are different types of some morpheme. For example, the morpheme ed can have sound id. In the word hunted, we are saying hunted, that ed is morpheme and we are pronouncing it id, hunted. So hunted may the sound of t and the word fished, the sound of d is the form of buzzed sound. These are the form of buzzed sound. So what are, if we say it to quote by another example, how many morphemes are in the word? The word is composed of one or more morpheme, that is unbreakable. Unbreakable is composed of 3 morphemes. The word unbreakable is composed of 3 morphemes. Un is a bound morpheme signifying not, that is unsatisfactory. For example, we can take unbreakable. For example, we can take annoyed. For example, we can take. So un is the affix that is joined with other words, make the word opposite or antonym. Breakable, the root word of a free morpheme, and able is a free morpheme signifying can be done. Able is the free morpheme, that is signifying anything can be happen, anything may be possible, anything can be added to the any word, that is able, means being able or can be able or can be done in any form or in any sense. So some words such as morpheme, we are saying examples. What are the morpheme? What are the words that we use to say that these are used as morpheme? So for example, we take prefix, stem, suffix, tris, yelbic, trisable, words, word, active, double E sound, willy, combining form, compound form, contracted form, and ism, morphology, morphological. These are the words that are used before the other words that are known as morpheme. So what a morpheme is, if we want to conclude or explain in detail, a morpheme are the indivisible basic unit of a language. What do we speak in a language? Either we are speaking English or Hindi or Tamil or any other language. If we are speaking, then the words and the parts of words are the basic units of that language. The parts of words are known as morpheme. Much like the atoms, which are which physics once assumed were invisible units of matter. Suppose we are taking a small material example, that is chalk, being crushed and made it powder. In powdered form, the matter of chalk is distributed all around, and the atoms of that matter has been spread out. These atoms are, when combined, can be called chalk matter, and when dispersed can be called atoms. Morphemes are the same, like in a language we use so many words all together to make sentences to express ourselves. In what sense we express ourselves is depend upon what the words we are using, and whatever the words we are using, how manner we are pronouncing the words, and how capable we are pronouncing those words depends upon the type of speaking in that particular manner. So a morpheme is the smallest basic unit, I must say, is the unit of language. English speakers borrowed morpheme from French morpheme. English, the language has been brought from English, that speakers borrowed morpheme from a French morpheme which has itself created from Greek root morph, meaning from, meaning form. Form is a type, a matter, a trend, a substitute. So, French borrowed eme from their word phoneme, which like English phoneme means the smallest unit of speech that can be used to make one word different from the another word. A smallest unit that can be made from one word and different from another word. So, French suffix and its English equivalent eme are used to create words that refer to distinctive units of language structure. Word forms from eme include lexeme, lexeme, meaningful. Linguistic unit, that is an item in the vocabulary of a language. And grapheme, what a grapheme means? A unit of writing system. Grapheme means a unit of writing system. And toneme, toneme is a unit of intonation in a language in which variation is tone and distinguished in meaning. So, what do we call here? I have told you that English morpheme has been brought from equivalent to lexeme. Lexeme means the linguistic unit is an item of vocabulary language. Linguistic unit is an item of vocabulary language. What do we use to speak to another person or to speak to ourselves also comes in terms of lexemes. Whereas grapheme are the unit of writing system. What else we write on paper? Suppose I am writing a letter, then what are the words I am using? What are the selection of words? Depends my memory level, my memory box. I used to select these words to form the conception of my ideas. So, graphemes are the unit of a writing system. And the same way toneme. Toneme is the unit of intonation in a language in which variation is distinguished meaning. Tone, which as usually a person speaks to another person, the type of tones he uses is known as toneme. So, the word pins, I am taking another example to explain morpheme. The word pins contains two morphemes, pin and the added plural added plural suffix s. A plural may be a morpheme. A prefix may be a morpheme. Individual words may be morphemes. They want to put you in a box, but nobody in a box. You are not in a box, said Arvind. So, what prefix is saying here, they want to put you in a box. In the similar way, by another example, I am taking contracted word forms may be the morphemes. They want to put you in a box, but nobody in a box. You are not in a box, said Joan. So, morpheme as meaningful sequences of sound. In this sentence, that was contracted word form, I expressed that word they want to be put you in a box, but nobody in a box. You are not in a box. These are the sequences in which the words are presented in the form of morpheme. Now, my next example is a morpheme is a form of sequence of sound with a recognizable meaning. Knowing a word's early history and etymology may be useful in dividing into a morpheme, but the divisor factor is the form meaning link. For example, if I am taking the word zoology, zoology is made up of two words, that is zoo and logy. Zoo is known as the home of animals and logy is the science of morphology of all animals. So, what does the word zoology refers to? Zoology word refers to the scientific study of morphology of all animals. A morphology may, however, have more than one pronunciation or spelling. For example, the regular noun plural ending has two spellings. The regular noun plural ending has two spellings, s and es. And the pronunciation where sound s as in bags, sound z as in bags, and a vowel sound z as batches. Here I repeat the words which I am taken to express morpheme. For example, if I take the example of batches. In batches, I am saying batches, and that es when added with batch pronounced in different way makes the plural of the word batch. Es is known as morpheme and batch is the root word. Similarly, when morpheme ate is followed by ion, such as activate, or if I am saying the word activation, that activate ate is changed in ion, activation. So, etymorphic variation is the typical of the morpheme of English, even though the spelling does not represent it. So, whatever we are added as affix, that ate, that z sound, that es sound, that sh sound, all these affixes are known as morpheme. A word consists of one morpheme, simple, cat, travel, appear. More than one complex, if we make cats from cat, that cats, I am adding s in cats. So, that s alphabet is known as morpheme. In travel, I am added traveled. Ed is the sound of is the ed is added in travel. And if I am taking another word appear, so if I wish to make appear to appeared, then the spelling will be APPEARED. So that ed is represented as morpheme. And if I say a word disappeared, then dis is one word alag se, and appear is another word, and ed is another. So dis when added is known as first word, appear is the root word, and ed is the morpheme form. So morpheme are two types, that is free morpheme which occur alone, and second is the bound morpheme which do not occur alone. Suppose I am taking an example of woolen. In that woolen word, wool is the word that may occur alone, and en is the word which may not occur alone. So if I say woolen, then wool is the word that may occur alone, and en if I add to woolen, then en cannot occur alone. Simple. So now let me explain morpheme. So type of morpheme which I discussed earlier, these are 6 type of morpheme. There are free morpheme, bound morpheme, and lexical morpheme, grammatical morpheme, bound roots, and affixes, and these are the type of morpheme. If I used to give you a brief about free morpheme and bound morpheme, then free morpheme coincide with the word form, whereas bound morpheme do not coincide with separate word forms. Bound morpheme are always added with another word. So may stand alone without changing its meaning. Free morpheme may stand alone without changing its meaning, simple. But bound morpheme occur only as a constituent part of words. Simple, it can be represented by taking an example, can be only roots. Free morphemes can be only roots. Support, I want to make it supportive, is another word. Free morpheme, IVE, to when added to support works as a free morpheme. It is a morpheme but can be added to any other word. But bound morpheme are mostly derivational morpheme. Suppose IVE in supportive, these are known as derivational, has come from anywhere else, has been derived from any other word. So bound morpheme IVE has none its own place of accord, but when added to another word, it becomes its supportive word. So when explained in English, morpheme are two types, bound morpheme and free morpheme. Bound morphemes are the affixes. Affixes are what? Inflectional or derivational. Inflectional or derivational is what? ER, S, ED are the inflectional morpheme, and derivational morpheme are un, nes and IFY. IFY means what? These are derivational morphemes. Now coming on to the root. Root is FER for, LAT late, and AMOK mock. I must pronounce it moke. A smoke, say, has been separated, O-A-M-O-K-E, smoke. So, root words when added with another words are known as morphemes. Free morphemes are what? Open class and closed class. Free morphemes are the nouns, are the verbs, are the adjectives. But closed class morphemes are conjunctions, prepositions and determiners. Nouns, there are so many types of nouns. 5 types of nouns हैं, common noun, proper noun, material noun, abstract noun and another noun. So, nouns, verbs and adjectives telling the speciality of any one noun or pronoun. Suppose. So, nouns, verbs and adjectives are the open class free morpheme and closed morpheme are the conjunctions, prepositions and determiners. Suppose that cat has drunk on all the milk. So, that is the determiner, that particular cat I am talking, that particular cat I am explaining. So, that the word used before cat is the determiner. Has eaten all the milk that is provided to her, has eaten all the milk, has sucked up all the milk, has drunk up all the milk, has taken all the milk, or I can say it with any words used. So, has taken is verb, has is helping verb, taken is the main verb. So, these are the verbs. Noun is the cat, name of an animal. So, has up the by clever cat. If I said the clever cat or the black cat or the white cat or the red cap or the funny cap, fiery cat. So, these are the adjectives that are denoting the cat. So, free morpheme, the words I used to clarify cat, used to explain the cat are the adjective of cat. So, the adjectives, the verbs, the nouns are the free morpheme. Conjunctions, prepositions and determiner. Has eaten up all the milk. Up is the preposition in that sentence and conjunction all, determiner I have told that cat. So, that cat has taken all the milk is the full example of to explain the morpheme. Now, I am coming on to the type of morpheme. The first one is free morpheme. Free morpheme. A free morpheme is one that can be uttered alone with meaning, such as words that we saw earlier. For example, book, table, bag, deliver, learn, pick. These are what? These are the free morphemes. These are pronounced in a single sound. These words have their own meaning. Any word, any in the first lecture I told any morpheme is the any useful word, any word used used in a language is known as morpheme. So, what since I used to express myself, my words, in what manner I am using these words are known as the morpheme. I may take the example of any book, I may take the example of any table, I may take the example of any bag, I may deliver anything, I may learn anything, I may pick anything. So, all these are the example of free morphemes. Now, with bound morpheme, what is bound morpheme? A bound morpheme cannot be uttered alone with meaning. It always added to one or more morpheme to a form of a word. What? The following morpheme are taken from the previous examples. In my previous slide, I told you book, that is books. S is the bound morpheme for plays. RE, replay. If I take the example replay, RE, re is added to it, added to word play. When re is added to word play, re is known as morpheme. Cheaply, another word is cheaply. I am taking as another example. Cheaply, CHEPLY. Ly is the bound morpheme. Similarly, unable. Unable is the word is spelled out UNABLE. That able is can do anything in a possessive way. And when added to able makes unable, that un is the morpheme added to the word able. Completely the word has become unable. Similarly, Brighton. If I am taking the example of Brighton, then Brighton, BRIGHTEN, that EN is also known as a bound morpheme. So, all these underlined morphemes are bound morpheme. All these underlined in this slide are known as the bound morpheme. Now, the third one is lexical morpheme. Lexical morphemes are what? Lexical, it is the set of nouns, adjectives and verbs which are meaningful in and convey message is called lexical morpheme. Means any word in the language I am using that is lexical morpheme is the set of nouns, adjectives, verbs which are meaningful and convey message is called the lexical morpheme. Ali, good, look are these words that have the same meaning. So, these are the lexical morpheme. Functional morphemes are what? It is the set of functional words such as conjunctions, prepositions and articles. For example, but, it, because, and, on, about. These are the functional. When added to it, but I was going to Agra, but my train came late and I couldn't go there. So, this but is explaining the functional morpheme in that sentence. It appeared dark tonight. When nights are usually dark, but there is night when Purnamasi Chand is there, that is bright light. The night is also bright. So, when Amavasya Chand is there, means moon is not seen in the night, all is dark night. So, it appears dark when Amavasya night. So, it is known as morpheme in that particular sentence. And because of you I am here, because of you I am here. This because is explaining a morpheme. Because of you is the root which I want to express through my sentence. And add on, about, all these are example of the same kind. Next is the bound roots. Bound roots do not occur in isolation. First thing is, bound roots do not occur in isolation, acquire meaning only in combination with other morphemes. Bound roots acquire meaning only in combination with other roots such as receive, I am taking an example, re and sieve. Sieve can be combined to other words, re can also be combined to other words, and receive may be used in other words. So, perceive, decisive, conceive are all the examples. Permit, submit, admit, transmit are all the example of bound roots. For English speakers, Latin morphemes have not independent meaning. Their meaning depends on the entire words in the occur prefix are bound root morpheme, non-pursed or discerned. Bound morphemes convey meaningful only in the combination of Hickleberry, small round, pearlish, blue, lukewarm, somewhat are all the examples of bound morpheme. So, as the time is over, I may take another example of allomorphs with tomorrow's lecture. Till then, take care and bye-bye.